Hey, 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 and welcome back. You have found the VO Life. Still going strong after 3 years and 130 plus episodes, and I'm really glad to have you here. Today, we're going to talk about VO Atlanta. It's coming up here in just a few weeks, and there are a lot of discussions online and in groups going on right now about VO Atlanta. And what I want to bring you is some perspective from someone who's going for the third time, and I'm going to roll it back to the first time. And we're going to talk about all of those and the differences and what I can share with you, because especially if this is your first trip to Atlanta, whether you're flying, driving, you're coming across halfway around the world, being there and it's going to fly uh, is going to be some kind of experience like never before. How can I help you prepare for that just a little bit, being someone who's going for the third time? Well, let me tell you this. My first trip down there, I was terrified and petrified. You might not believe that I'm a huge introvert. I am a bit of an introvert. I think most of us in voiceover are introverts. There are some extroverts, there are some of the really outgoing people, but even those that I thought were more outgoing, I would spot those people sitting by themselves trying to get a calm moment. So I think it will surprise you as to who is and who's not. So it's your first trip down, you're a bit of an introvert. What will make it easier? Let me give you some hints that I think will make things a little better and make it go a little better. First, there should be a handful of people that you know or have a social relationship with online that you can feel comfortable talking to. What I would recommend is to try to stay in a small group with those people as much as you can. And because there's going to be right at 1,000 people there, it's the biggest one ever, and it's probably going to keep getting bigger. How do you keep up with them? How do you know? Print your schedule off ahead of time. Share your schedules with each other. Maybe get a Zoom call with the two or three of you and decide, let's go to this session, this session, this session, breakouts. If you've got X sessions, where you're going to be, but the rest of the time you don't. But what you can do is try to make sure every session you go to, you're going with someone you quote unquote know. That way you have a buddy. And it does make it better to walk into a room full of strangers and have to pick a seat and it's already crowded. It's not a great feeling. But if there's two of you or three of you or four of you, you can stick together and, get in there and all sit together and not feel like you're out of place. It does make a difference. And I can tell you from experience that helps. Year one, Charles Coates was super in introducing me around to people because he has the personality. He can do that. Kevin Kilpatrick was a big help because it was my first time there. He knew it. He knew I was nervous. He invited me to some things, introduced me around to some people. I did over X session the first year. I think I did 3 or 4. Last year I did 2. This year I'm doing 1. And you'll see as you go that it's really, really overwhelming to bog yourself down. The first year, it's okay. Get everything you can get from it. That's what you want to do. You're taking in, you're drinking from a fire hose. And that's what it's going to feel like. So many people, and you see them going by, and they don't have time to stop, and you don't have time to stop. And, but structure some things if you can with some people you know or people you want to know. Things like when you sit down to have lunch, lunch is provided. Schedule who you want to have lunch with on Friday and Saturday. Schedule breakfast. Things usually don't get started till mid-morning. So wherever you're staying, there's probably other people staying there. If you're at the La Quinta or if you're lucky to be at the Hilton, try to schedule breakfast or coffee with people that you want to get to know a little better and spend time with them. After hours, we do a thing in VO Life. We go to Waffle House one night and get as many people in there as we can. I think we had like 10 or 12 last year. We had a blast in there. Of course, you got to sit in tables of 4, and we were all separated out, but we were swapping tables, going back and forth. We had fun, and it was just relaxed. What else can you do? If you're lucky enough that you have a car there, you and those friends can go down the street to a restaurant or go explore something at lunch or in the afternoon or whatever. Sometimes you just got to walk away from the conference, and you can't go to everything. So try to organize things where that works out. Um, there's also been a lot of questions about the weather. It's the South. It could snow. It could be 75. We just don't know. Last 2 nights here near Nashville has been in the lower teens. It's going to be 64 here in 2 days. And it may come back to rain again. But it's the South, and it is the season between winter and spring. We don't know. Here's another little trick that's going to happen while you're there. On Saturday night, you got to push your clock up an hour, because if you don't, you'll miss out on the closing ceremony. It'll be an hour of it. It'll be partly done, and you just walk in. Don't forget to set your clock forward if you're going to be there. Do it right when you go to bed Saturday night. That way it's done. You don't get up the next morning and forget. And of course, phones automatically, I know, and hopefully that's what you're all using. But what else can I tell you that'll help? Yes. Questions about what to wear. And the weather, just look on the Weather Channel a couple days before and see. I will tell you this too. Let me add into that before we get into dress, because I'm going to add dress into this. Some of the rooms there are very hot. Some are very cold. I don't know, but have something you can carry with you. I carry a backpack most of the time I'm there with me from room to room. And I don't have a lot of stuff in it, but I can stick a hoodie in there, stuff like that. That helps, just in case. That way I can dress in layers. I can add a layer, get rid of a layer. I keep pads, pencils in there, my business cards, anything I need to get me through the day. And yes, business cards are still a thing. I think it's maybe as important for peers than it is, for agents or whatever. Because you don't want to just be shoving a card up everybody's nose. And a lot of people say, well, I'll leave them in the room. I don't even take them with me. I don't care. But it's not a bad idea to have them, and have something that's a little different, and have your the QR code on the back. That makes it great. I've got square cards, and they have the QR on one side and my logo on the other. And that's it. I mean, that's all you need. Let's talk about dress. Well, I want to look nice. Well, sure, but you want to be comfortable. You're going from room to room. You better wear good, comfortable shoes, comfortable clothes. You can still dress nice and neat and be comfortable, right? Even jeans, even some athletic wears. A lot of people wear shorts. Be you is what I want to say. Be you. There are some nighttime activities that you want to bring something for it. You might want to put on a nicer shirt, a nicer pair of slacks or whatever. Do that too. I mean, heck yeah, why not? Be you is the main thing I'll say. Now, I promise I'm not going to show up in overalls and muck boots, but like what I wear around here most of the time. But I will be wearing comfortable clothes. You got to be comfortable. Eat. Be sure you eat. If you carry a backpack like I suggested, protein bars are great. Snack crackers, whatever, a couple bottles of water. You can get plenty to drink there. Coffee is free. Water is free. But water, you got to put it in a cup. But if you got your water bottle, you can pour that into your water bottle. Or if you have a container you like to carry to drink water out of. Be sure you're hydrating, you're eating, doing all those things, keeping your energy up, because you're going to need it. You're going to all of a sudden in the afternoon go, oh my God, I'm so tired. And you will be, because it's very physically draining, and you want to keep going. You're just afraid you're going to miss something. And, you are going to miss stuff, but you can't, because you can't be in everything at the same time. There's, all these sessions going on at the same time. You can't go to all of them. Pick the one that's going to help you the most, or is the most relevant, or has people in it that you most want to see. Um, there are people that I would love to go see, and I want to go just to support them because I've either coached with them or whatever. But I did that the first 2 years, so this year I won't go to their thing again because I know what they're talking about, and I've met them and we've hung out, and they'll understand. I'm going to go to some weird things this year, some business oriented things. And I'm going to try to go to a couple of more panels where last year I would go to something else because I thought, what's a panel? I mean, I don't, it's a lot of people in there, but it's good information. And the thing is, if you don't know about certain genres and you're wanting to learn about certain things, it's a great thing to go to. That's where you'll be more rounded and you'll know more. Um, what is the difference between going to a panel, going to a regular session, going to an X session? The X session is way less people. I believe it's a dozen, if I remember correctly. The other day I was thinking it was 9, but I think it's 12. And it's going to be more like an online workshop, except you're there in person and it's 3 hours. And you get to know that person. And if you are looking for a coach and one of those people is having an X session and you get to go to it, you'll learn a heck of a lot about how they do things. You'll get to see them do it with all 12 people. And I think that's a good thing. Um, the difference is, like I said, that one is more one-on-one, 12 on one. The others, the open regular breakouts are, there could be 30 people in there. It could be, I've seen rooms so packed you couldn't hardly breathe, people sitting on the floor everywhere. You never know how many people will be in those. And that's just going to be one person talking about a certain subject and then taking questions at the end. Sometimes those sessions are a prelude to their X session. They're giving you the information, the generalities, and then in the X session, they dig way deeper. And then that might lead you, as I said, to want to work with them outside the conference. And that's the goal, I'm sure, why they are there to show you what they can do or how they could help you, because every coach is not for everybody. And we all know that. And then, of course, the panels are discussion. It's like, I think there's one on like promo, and there'll be experts up there, and they'll talk about their experiences, and they'll go across, and all of them will talk, and then they'll take questions, and it's very enlightening. And if you say, "Well, I don't know a lot about promo," those are the things you want to go to learn in general about those things. There's demo panels. There's what was that? There's demo panels. There's all kind of panels. You can go to the panels. You may get as much as I do just from interacting in the hallway, in the general area, and in the evenings around the restaurant and bar area. That's where you'll sit and talk to people and really get to know them and have a blast. So that's why I say sometimes in the afternoon you go, you know what, there's another session coming up and I'd like to go. It's not really that big a deal, but I think I'm going to go to my room and take a quick nap. Go ahead and do that. Don't deny yourself a little bit of rest. You may want to go do that. And let me say, to wrap this up, this is the number one thing I want to get across to you. Don't pressure yourself while you're there. Don't push yourself too hard. Go and treat this like what it is. It's a conference. And also maybe kind of treat it like it's a vacation, because you're away from your grind, you're away from home. You're just, you're out here to have fun and socialize as well. And look at it that way. Look at it as I'm going to go and I'm going to have a good time. I'm not going to pressure myself. I'm not going to get all, oh, I should have went to that. Oh, I should have done this. I should have talked to that guy. He was standing right there and I didn't even talk to him. It's okay. You'll get that chance again, whether it's next year at VO Atlanta, or maybe you say, well, I could just tell they're a really nice person and I want to connect with them. Connect with them later. It'll work out. Don't push and pressure yourself. Not worth it. Not worth it at all. And again, be yourself. You don't have to go down there and put on a show. You don't have to go down there and feel like some of these people are better than you. They're booking. They've been doing this a long time. They're all just people just like you. And you'll find that they are the most warm and welcoming people who would love to have a conversation with you. Yes, they get overwhelmed. There's a lot of people wanting to talk to certain people, and there's crowds around them all the time, and everybody wants to hear their stories and know more about what they do. Boy, my dog's loud today. I don't know what's wrong with him. But they geez, but they will take time for you as they can, and sometimes they'll even offer, "Hey, come down to the bar area tonight. I'll be down there about 6:30 or 7. Maybe we'll have more time to talk." You'll be surprised. And if this is your first time, you're gonna be very surprised at what I just said, that how receptive and how open people are to taking time to talk to you. And sometimes it's hard for me to put the shoe on the other foot because I still feel like the brand new guy who's going down there for the first time. And the first year, nobody knew who I was. The second year, I had a few people, coming up and that recognized me. "Oh, you're Troy, VO Life. Yeah," and wanting to talk to me. And the funny part is a lot of us aren't as recognizable in public as we are in social media. You see my cartoon with my glasses, the big oversized glasses, you know who that is. You know this voice tied to that cartoon. You might, tied into seeing my picture on the VO Life stuff where you see an actual picture, or maybe you've watched my TikTok videos. But when I show up somewhere, I'm just like you guys. I'm just a guy. I'm as introverted about all this as you are, but I sure am happy to see everybody, and really enjoy it. Be you, have fun. Don't overpressure yourself. Be sure you hydrate. Be sure you rest. Keep some snacks with you. And I promise you, it's not that hard to lug a bag with you. Gosh, don't wear a fanny pack. It's okay. My wife uses one at the barn a lot, and I guess it's okay, but come on, guys, get a small backpack. It looks better. And these new things they have, I forget what they call them, like commuter bags or something. They go over your, around your neck and over your shoulder, and they're kind of like a small, I don't know. I used to see couriers carry them, with documents in them. Though anything that you can use to carry stuff, don't feel like it's going to be in your way. It won't. You go into a session or whatever, you can stick it under your chair. It's out of the way. But you've got stuff with you and you're not running back and forth, and you darn sure don't have to buy stuff at the Hilton, like to go over there and buy a drink or, a bar drink, you will. But I'm talking about going to their coffee shop and getting a cola, soda, whatever you want to call them, and a sandwich or whatever. Next thing you know, it's $28 and you don't have anything. Bring stuff with you. Go to Walmart and bring it with you. And save that money. And again, JMC and Anna are great of having coffee and water everywhere. And those are sponsored stations, but it's great. They stay full. There's always coffee, lots of coffee, and that's a good thing. But again, be yourself, have fun, say hey to me. I'll be there. I'll talk to you. I'll stand and talk usually because I'm so glad somebody's talking to me now. I feel like the pressure's off. Makes it a lot easier. Hang in a group, schedule with other people, go to things with other people. Even if it's just one person, hang with somebody. That way you got comfort. You'll feel okay. And when you need to rest. And that's it. Have fun. Let's go. Is it time yet? Well, almost. Here it is, right? We're pushing right toward the end of February here, and we'll be there that first full weekend going out into March. And don't forget daylight savings time. And heck, let's go to Atlanta. I'll see you there. Will you be there? I know you will, and I know you're coming. I'm not sure about you, but let me know. All right. Hey, see you at VO Atlanta.